And in this video, join me as I have a chat with a friend of mine, a virtual friend, who has survived a lot, including cancer twice. Not once, twice. Please join me. Hello, welcome to Take a Step to a Better You. In this one, the second time I'm chatting with someone, and I'm chatting with the gentleman. His name is Unwana Udoh, and his story is inspiring to me, maybe to be inspiring to you too, because of all the challenges he has had in his life. He had to survive cancer twice. Now, that's big. So if you are new here, my name is Sherifa Nakalema. I'm a business owner in Virginia, USA, and I like stories like this one where someone keeps going after having hardships, where someone, even if you don't have a hardship yet, but as long as you keep taking yourself to the next level, that's what I care about. I like to talk to you, okay? Add a comment if you want me to talk to you. Here, I talk about making money online through affiliate marketing. I talk about taking your life to the next level, especially if you want to be a business owner, not just making money, but creating a real business. I also talk about recently personal development, the genius script. How do you learn to use your mind and thoughts? And that's a big thing. It's happening right here. So all the recent videos, you'll see that I mixed it in. It's called the genius script. And motivation. I like to motivate you to take a step to make your life better. But this series here is about sharing the stories. Those people who are really taking the steps. And today we have Unwana Udoh. The last one, let me mention the first one I did. That was Sherifa Nakalema, who is a lawyer who decided to go online and become a digital entrepreneur. That one, you find it in the pinned comment also at the end of this video. But this other, or the one today we are doing, is someone I met, actually, not met, virtually connected to here online 4 years ago. His name is Unwana Udoh, and he's a bank manager, actually, right here in USA. He's going to tell his story. Sorry, let's not spoil the story. You're going to hear everything about him, but just know that his story, there is a lot to learn from it. He's a bank manager right now, in fact, regional, and here online, he has a YouTube channel. That's where we go when we want to learn about money tips. He's the money guy. And also he's, like in my videos here, whenever I celebrated something, like when we did these books, he always had a little clip. Like, I asked people to record videos. He's one of them. I think he has submitted here videos like 4 times, but this is the first time we've really chatted, like back and forth. So that's what you are doing here. I don't want to say a lot about him because he's going to tell his real story, and follow along. Thank you so much. So please consider subscribing if you like your life to go to the next level, especially if you want to make money online and start a business, all the things I do. Check out the other videos, almost 900 right now. Subscribe, please, like it, share it, and share stories like this with me. You can send me an email, info@unwanaudoh.com, to share a story, somewhere. This is international, someone who's taking their life to the next level. But mostly, especially if they like to work from home, to work online, those kinds, yeah, those are the ones I like to focus on because I want to encourage all of you to do the same, okay? So without spending too much time or even spilling the beans about Wana, let's just go watch my chat with Wana. Remember to add a comment, remember to share it, okay? And yeah, support this message. Okay, thank you. Let's get on. I'm so excited today. I have talked to Wana. Welcome, Wana.
Thank you so much.
I call you Wana. I know you are Wana, but I like the Wana. You use it too, right?
Yes, I do.
So I already said a few words about you, but in your own words, please. Say something about yourself. You can say maybe your name, your age, and maybe you're originally from. We're all in America here. You can mention where your original country, and also maybe your family situation and what you do, the day job, and what you do online. Briefly.
Okay. Please. Yeah. So thank you so much, Sherifa, for having me here. My name is Unwana Udoh, but you can call me Wana.
Yes.
I am 57 years old. I'm a father of three, and I live in the eastern part of the United States. So I live in Farmington, Connecticut. So if you know where that is on the map.
Mhm.
Um, my full-time job, I work as a assistant vice president for a community bank here. And
Yes.
also I have an online presence. So I'm sure if you followed me, I do have a YouTube channel where I teach people how to handle their money and also spend their money wisely. So
I
if,
like, especially these days, you have a TikTok too. These days, you have very, very nice tips on TikTok. So
yes,
we'll
I am trying.
share your handles all in the description there.
Absolutely. Thank you
So,
very much.
when I first saw you,
Mm.
you didn't mention where you're originally from. Did you just mention it? You didn't.
Oh no, so I'm originally from Nigeria.
Yes, I remember when I
Yes.
first saw you. I said when you said Nigeria, I didn't think you were from Nigeria. Maybe I thought
Yes.
you were African American here. It wasn't so obvious.
Mhm.
So I think I'll let you do the talking to explain how we met. How, because it's been 4 years, like since
Yes,
online. So
absolutely.
how do you get to know me?
So during the health crisis, I was home at that time, and most people were on watching videos, and
Yes.
your video came up, and I was like, "Who is this person?" And you were talking about very important stuff. So I watched your video, and then I sent you a message just to introduce myself, and that's how we met.
Yes, I thought it was on Instagram. Actually, you watched my video. You were the one who started it. And
Yes,
then I remember inviting you to come to my Facebook group, and then later I made it like WhatsApp, YouTube group, and we've been everywhere together, right?
absolutely,
And you've been
absolutely.
at it, then you go to 10,000 subscribers. Yes, yes, yes. So
Yes,
that's so great to connect.
thank
So
you.
tell us what brought you to USA.
So like I said earlier, I originally came from Nigeria. So while I was in Nigeria, I used to work as a project engineer for Shell Oil Company, and I
That's a
came to
good
the
one,
United States.
right? That's
Yes,
good money, right?
yes. So
Uh-huh.
but at that time, it was beneficial for you to have a master's degree in addition to an engineering degree. So it made you more
So what kind of engineering did you do?
civil engineering. So
Civil. That's civil. Those are the ones who work in the oil.
yes, so civil
Okay.
engineering is construction, so building roads, dams, and all that good stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. So I came to the United States when I was 25 to
Okay.
complete my master's in business administration.
Mm-hmm.
And after I finished my administration degree, my original plan was to go back to Nigeria and work for my uncle. He owned a bank.
Uncle? Okay.
But around that time, Nigeria was going through some political issues, like every country in Africa, we go through
Ah,
this
there's
series.
always something going.
So unfortunately, at that time, my parents told me the country was too volatile for me to just make a life in America and not come home. So that's how I ended up staying in America.
Okay. That's
Yes.
good. So this conversation is always going. We're going to talk about your professional part, like how you make your money and all those things. Then, if you don't mind, we want you to share a little bit of the personal, because your personal is actually very inspiring to me, and
Mhm.
maybe inspiring to the audience also, the other viewers. And then, if you have time, will depend. Then we're going to ask you to share a few tips about money, a few money
Mhm.
tips. We're going to have like 3 parts. So right now we're talking about the profession. So what happened after I finished your MBA?
So after I finished my MBA, I was fortunate to work for um, a business owner that owned restaurant franchise. So he had Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise.
Really? You
So
worked
yeah,
for them?
so that was the job that I started after I finished my MBA. So
Wow, working at what?
I was a general manager.
Really?
Yes. So
Okay.
based on the experience I had from running the restaurant franchise, I figured, you know what, I always had that passion to do business for myself, to go into business for myself. So I
Mm-hmm.
figured I might as well become a business owner.
That's
And
cool.
I started to research businesses and all sorts of ventures. And then I finally settled with Subway restaurants. So,
I wonder why you never chose KFC itself. They were not franchising. They didn't have.
well, yes. So the initial cost of entry was very high for KFC.
Mm.
So you have to come up with a lot of capital, which at that time I did not have a lot of capital to do that. But
And you're not using your credit since you are new here. Maybe you didn't have a
correct,
good credit by that time. But
yes,
since we are trying to share like tips and teach other people about the American life, because some of that my viewers are not really in USA. So
hmm
could you please help explain what a franchise is?
sure.
What yeah.
So when you talk about a franchise, so a franchise is you have a concept where individuals can buy, you can pay money to be able to use the name of that
You
enterprise.
could use a name like McDonald's to make it
Like
easier to understand.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like McDonald's for instance also runs a franchise system where they sell the name to an individual who opens up a McDonald's store, but all you see is just the McDonald's name, but it's actually owned by an individual who runs it.
But I think the franchise has rules. You have to run it the same. They give
Correct.
you.
So all franchises have their rules. You have to run it the same, and you have to pay the franchisor money for using their name to be in business. So the advantage of having of being in a franchise, it gives you instant notice. So people see the
The
name,
brand is already done.
they
People
already know
already
the
know the
brand.
business.
So it makes it easy for you to get into business and get get
Okay,
going.
do you just pay the fee or they take also on the profits?
Yes, so you pay an application fee and then you have to go through training. And if you're qualified, then you have to open up your, and you also have to show that you have the money to be able to build a location or buy an existing location. And then every week you have to pay the franchise system part of your proceeds,
I think I
okay,
don't
of your
like it.
sales.
For me, I don't like it. So would you do that again?
At this point, no.
You are creating your own, you grow your own. They are
Yes,
always
I'd
checking
rather
you
do mine.
and you're not following the rules and all that.
Correct.
Okay,
It's
so that's interesting. So what happened? Uh,
so I had yeah.
yeah, no, no.
So
What happened? So you decided to get into Subway, the Subway one,
so I,
right?
I went into Subway and I was a Subway franchisee for about 10 years. I had three
10 years?
locations.
You know,
Yes.
it's 10 years.
hmm
Wow, that's long.
Yes.
Did you make
Yes.
some good money?
Yes, I did. I mean, the
Okay,
goal was good, but
okay.
also when you're making a lot of money, which is where the finance piece comes into place, we
Uh-huh.
don't we don't plan for the future
What?
because
Who said that?
because when you're getting money, most
Now you are
people that
talking about,
live,
you remember the way he explains that when
yes,
people make more money, they do what?
they
They
spend
get
more
into
money.
debts. Yes? Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
that's what happens because if you don't have the foundation of finance, how to handle your money, then
Yes,
you're going to get in trouble.
yes. But
Which
I think if it happened today, you'd behave differently, right?
correct, absolutely
You don't have the knowledge that you do have now.
correct.
Okay. So
Correct.
what happened exactly?
Yeah, so if you all remember in 2007, 2008, we had the financial crisis
Bad.
where a lot of banks and businesses went out of business and a lot of people lost their jobs. I was one of those people that lost their business. So,
I could not
and
believe what I saw. All the houses were empty.
mhm,
And they were selling them. Rich people bought houses cents on a dollar. Oh my goodness.
yes, that was a very tough time, a very
Yeah.
tough time. So, unfortunately, it's part of business, it's part of life. I had to make the decision to exit the business, to sell it.
So how do
And
they deal with that? How do they handle that?
so I had to find buyers, somebody who will buy. But don't forget, at that time, people were in really bad shape. People didn't have
Okay.
money,
Yes.
and banks were not giving loans. So it was very difficult for unless somebody was coming with cash. it was very hard to find a buyer for
And
most
of
of the
course, you have some loans of your own,
of
right?
loans of your own. Correct, correct.
So,
So because of the amount of money that I had borrowed to start the franchise, I was in a lot of debt. And as a result of that, my accountant and my attorney told me the best thing for me to do was to file bankruptcy so that all that debt can be wiped off. So
and now you have to explain bankruptcy. What does that mean?
so so what happens when you file bankruptcy means
So
that
which chapter, what kind did you file?
I did chapter 7.
Okay.
So chapter 7, pretty much all your debt is wiped off, but it stays on. We have what's called a credit system here. So it stays on your credit report for 10 years. So during that 10-year period, you cannot qualify for any more loans.
But do they really wipe it out completely?
Yes,
They do.
yes.
Okay. I think it's an option. That's why Trump did it many times.
and
Once you know the tricks, oh my goodness. I
and
think
he's a billionaire today.
yes,
So
yeah. So okay, so then what do you do?
so after that happened, I have to go back to work. I had to find a job. So I had to go back and
Where? Not KFC now.
no. So I was now working for Taco Bell for Yum Brand.
Yeah, we have it right here.
Yes,
But
yes.
that's
So
smaller, right?
no, it's big. It's big.
The one we have here is smaller.
Okay, probably.
Mm.
But it's a big company. So I was working as a manager there, and then eventually I moved from there to another company called Applebee's. I don't know if you know of
Yeah,
Applebee's.
Applebee's is here too. We
Yeah,
have it.
so when I went to Applebee's, I was in charge of training for Applebee's.
Wow.
So I was training manager for Applebee's, and I used to travel a lot.
Oh,
And this affected my family life. So don't forget,
we're
I
gonna
had
talk
to
about
take
your family life, please. Let's
correct,
first continue with your work up to
correct.
now, and then we'll talk about your family, please.
Okay, so pretty much when I did that, I had to make a career change. Okay, which will tie into what I was going to talk about the family. And
Yes.
I ended up going into banking in 2015. So
15.
yeah,
So by the time COVID came, you are in banking, right?
correct, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I've been in banking ever since.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you deserve it. You deserve it.
Yes,
You're a manager. It looks like you've been manager.
yes, yes.
Tell us something about manager before we move off this topic.
Sure. So
What are the because I talk to people about the difference between a manager and a leader.
mhm,
One time I'll throw it in the chat. I say, who can tell me the difference between a manager and a leader? And people were defining because it took me a while to know the difference. A
correct.
manager is always managing. So, what was the hardest part about being a manager?
Hardest part being a manager is delegating. You
Oh,
know, yes, because most managers
and now
feel
just throw in another word, delegating.
yes. So when I say delegating is being able to
Ask people.
give people different jobs to do instead of you doing it. Because
Yes.
when you're a manager, you have reached a level where you're
Allocating work. You do this, you do that.
correct. So
Okay.
I'm being and the toughest part or the hardest part is being able to motivate your team or people that are working under you to get the job done.
And also the other thing about I think that job of being a manager, people calling in sick, like someone didn't come today, and then you have to figure out how work is going to be done when one worker didn't come,
Mhm.
something like that.
And sometimes you have to work.
Yeah, of course. So
You
did
have to
they
fill in the
respect
gap.
you being from Africa? Did they respect you?
Oh yes, absolutely.
You never
Because
had
it's
that
all
issue?
I never had that issue because it's how you present yourself.
Okay. Now it's good to know.
Yeah.
So
So
how was I didn't ask you how was your accent when you first came?
my accent was always what it is now, because in Nigeria we spoke English.
You spoke English, but it's not the same English. You know that.
Yeah, because we were part of British colony, so we spoke English. So that already gave me an advantage, because English is English, but it's
Actually,
just
I disagree, Wana. I disagree. Because even right now, you are just lucky to speak the way you speak. Right now, even the children who are born here, but their
yeah,
parents are from West Africa, when they speak different.
correct.
Yes, it
The-
depends on if they use their mother tongue a lot. They
correct.
tend to have this accent. It's a little bit different. But
Yes.
you don't
So
have it.
yeah. So the accent part is going to be different for everyone. But when I say English, English is English.
No, oh
But
no, I mean accent. I mean the way you
yeah,
sound.
the accent. Yes.
Yes.
Accent will always be there.
Okay, how was it when you first came?
It was fine.
No one said, pardon me.
No, I never had that issue.
That means you had used a lot of English when you were in Nigeria, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's why.
Yes.
Okay, so but at some point you're switching jobs, right? Even after I know you.
No, I've always been in banking.
Banking, but you switched banks, I think.
Yes, I switched banks, correct.
Yes.
I was at a different bank, and then I moved to another bank.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's going on right now? So you feel good?
Yes, I feel good.
You just got a
Like
promotion, right?
I just got a promotion, so which is great. And
Okay.
yeah,
So
so
how does that fit in this message? Or this message? I have another book, this one. Because right now you are the
yeah,
guru who is teaching us about the finances. But
yes.
we are doing the 9 to 5. So how does that fit in
How
this
does it tie in?
quadrant, in the quadrants?
Correct. So if you have read that book, okay, there are 4 ways for you to make money,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Which is you have to be either an employee,
Employee,
you have
business
to be
owner,
self-employed,
self-employed, business owner,
business
investor.
owner, or an investor.
But if you read it really well, he's discouraging us from being employees.
Correct.
So why are you an employee? That's what I'm saying. If you're the
Correct.
one
So
you know all this knowledge, you have all this
so
knowledge.
so because so there are like you said, there are different ways for you to make money. So for me, because I'm an employee, does not mean I don't own a business.
Or you
So
so you do both?
I am in different quadrants.
Yes. But
The
if
ultimate
you know that
goal,
quadrant, the more money you make, they're taking it in taxes, and you know all
correct,
the advantages and disadvantages.
correct.
Maybe the right question to ask you. I know you've gone through a lot, like we're about to talk about. So
Yeah.
you have to work that job, but you intend to work there until you retire?
No, no.
Okay.
So like I said earlier, I also have other things that I do on the side that are also generating income for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But
So
when you look at the time you spend over there, you think maybe it would be best to spend on your own thing. Don't you think so?
absolutely, absolutely. But the things that I'm looking to do, I need a lot of capital for.
Oh, okay. You want to go
So
back to franchising?
no, I'm going into real estate.
Oh,
I want to buy apartment complexes.
oh. That's why
Yes,
you want to be. I think one time you went to Grand Cardone thing stuff. You
yes,
went.
yes.
Oh,
So
oh, that's
that's
big.
so that's my ultimate goal, is to develop real estate complex.
So why don't you try to buy in Nigeria?
Well, my right now it's very unstable in Nigeria in terms of investments.
Mm.
So, and because I don't plan to be there right now, I'd rather develop things here and then eventually develop stuff in Nigeria.
I
Right
wonder
now, it's
why
not a
why
good time.
you want the you said apartment? You want the
Yes.
big ones. I wonder why.
Why?
Why not single family homes? Why not smaller ones?
Well, because it's when you have single family homes, you have a lot of risk involved in it. you're putting all your eggs in one basket. But if I have like a 25 unit apartment complex, I have 25 different units. So
When one is empty, another one is not empty. Is that what you're saying?
if a tenant moves out from one, I still have income coming in. But when you have a single family, if somebody moves out or they don't pay rent, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're diversifying. Okay, so are you done talking about your uh business part or professional part? You want to switch now? Because
Absolutely.
for me, I want to talk to you mostly because of the personal side. Because I think the bigger message is from because of your resilience, what you've gone through. I feel like there's a lot to learn. Although you touched on it with that bankruptcy and all kind of things that happened to you, but I think the personal side is more inspirational for me. In fact, I admire you. Even when I see you looking back normal, I say what you went through, what you were sharing a little bit. So if you don't mind, let's talk about the person. So what happened? You are in the franchise business, and so when did you get married? At what point?
So I got married in 1997.
That was before the franchise?
Before the franchise, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got married in 1997.
Now we have to make it a little bit faster. So briefly, let's talk a little bit about what happened, and let's see.
Yes. So like I said, I got married in 1997. Everything was great. We had the franchise.
Is it okay to mention the kind of woman you married, or no? We leave it out.
Oh, it's okay.
So you married a white woman, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
let it out there.
Yeah. So I was married. Everything was great, and when you're married and then you start having some financial situation for some people, it can be very stressful on the marriage.
Yeah.
When you owe a lot of money and you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, and it can be very stressful. So because of what happened with the bankruptcy and everything, there was a lot of stress in the marriage. Correct. Which yes, and then with 3 kids, so which ultimately led us to get divorced in 2019.
19, around the time I met you. Like I met you.
Yes.
19, right?
Yeah.
You look stressed about it. Too stressed.
Yeah.
Were you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You just didn't show it, right?
No, I didn't show it. No.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
And then what happened?
So during that time, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer.
I remember I mentioned. I said, really?
Yes.
So that came immediately after, or what?
Like 3 months after my divorce.
Whoa.
I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So December of 2019, I was scheduled to have surgery, and during the
COVID was early 2020. That's when the lockdown started, right?
Correct. So 2020 was when I had my surgery, March of 2020.
That was a bit of COVID. Like that's when I had that trending video right here when I was taking make money. We need more money around that time.
So when I had that surgery, I was home and I was watching YouTube videos because I couldn't go anywhere. I was sick. That's when I saw your video.
Oh yeah, around that time I remember.
Yes. So that's how everything happened. So
do you have family around here?
I have a younger brother. He's in Texas.
No, because I'm thinking if you don't have a wife anymore and you're going through these surgeries.
Correct.
Those situations.
Yeah, so I was by myself because I moved out from my house. I was living by myself. So it was a very stressful times, So it was a very, very tough time, but you know what?
At that time you had the job, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how long does that kind of thing take for you to heal?
I was out for about 10 weeks. So yes.
Almost 3 months.
Almost 3 months. I was out of work. And yes. So And during that time, you still have expenses to pay.
Yes.
It keeps coming. It doesn't stop.
No, it becomes, and it's stressful too.
It's stressful, so it puts a lot of stress.
And you still have the children,
I still have the children.
the child support, right?
Correct. And alimony. So divorce is
Alimony too?
yes.
Ah, okay,
Yes.
now you're gonna explain what alimony is.
Correct. So alimony over here is if you different states have different laws. So if you've been married to someone for a long time, let's say 5 or 10 years,
How long was yours, the marriage?
22 years.
What?
Yes.
That was a long one.
Yeah, 22 years.
Well, pray get back together. She's not married yet. Is she?
No,
Is she?
no, she's not. She's
Okay.
not.
We
Yeah.
pray. You make the big bucks, she'll come back. Yeah.
No, those days are over.
Those children can bring you back together. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so you're talking about alimony.
yeah, so alimony, so the court system here says because you've been married for a long time with the person, you have to pay them some kind of upkeep money. So money for them to take care of themselves. So, and because I earned most of the money, I was liable, or I was obligated to,
Yeah, if it's the other way around, still the women pay the men.
the women would pay the men. So that's just the way it is.
Whoever
So
had the most money or whoever.
correct.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
you have to pay the child support for each child until they turn 18.
Yeah, that's the law here too.
That's the law. Yes.
And
So
of course, the 18, I feel like even not even 18, because 18, they're not even finished college.
correct.
So
You
that's a
still pay
law, but you still have, we are obligated to help even after
to
that.
help them out. Yes. So
Oh,
yeah.
so then what happened? We're talking about the surgery. So then you healed really well?
Yeah. So I healed really well, and during that time was when I started my YouTube channel.
Yes.
After I saw you, I
Yes.
said I started my own YouTube channel.
Now I think you had it already.
Huh?
You had it already.
No, I started it around that time.
Because I remember when you're commenting on my videos, I
Yes.
was going to comment on yours.
Yes. So I had a YouTube channel, but I wasn't active.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember that
I was
you
not
are
active.
not someone without a channel. I remember
Correct.
that you had
Yes.
it.
I had a
Okay.
channel, but I was not active. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. So what happened? How come you had to move from that job? Remember, we are tracking how your life moved.
correct.
That bank, you went back to the bank after the surgery, right?
Yes. So I went back to the bank, and the bank was having some reorganization, and I did not. They were not treating me well because you have to feel comfortable where you work.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you're an employee, then you're subject to what your boss says and things like that, which is why, like Rich Dad said, like, the series, you always want to make sure that you end up becoming a business owner or an investor, which is
Yes.
the ideal situation. So in my case, I had to make a move, and my current bank um, got me over there, and that's where I have been since 2021.
Okay, that's good. But
Yes.
then something else happened with your
So
health again.
yes, yes.
So
So during that time, so after I had my prostate cancer surgery, everything was fine, and then in 2021, it came back again, and I had to go through, the radiation therapy. So the radiation is like chemo, where you go into a machine and it sends out some rays to kill the cancer. So I had to go through that again.
that's tough. So is it connected with the first one? Maybe it didn't heal right?
Correct.
That's
Correct.
what they said?
That's what they said.
Uh, That's
Yeah.
asking how long did with the second one, when the second one came.
Second one came was 2022.
Okay, but how long? Was it 1 year or?
Yeah, it was like 8 months.
But you felt normal after the first one?
Yeah, I felt normal. Everything was fine. Um, I didn't feel anything. And then when I went back for my checkup, This because there is a test that they do. It's called a PSA test. So what it does is it checks your blood to see if there's cancer markers in your blood, and that's how they detect it. So my blood showed that there was something going on, and that's why I had to do the radiation.
I wonder how you take that kind of news when they're telling you that.
It's very stressful. Anytime you hear the word cancer, people get, it's very scary times. Our time is limited on this earth, but when you hear that word, you think like it's gonna happen like the very next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's when you say we are blessed to be in this country.
yes,
Because I think that helped.
yes, the technology is very, very good
You
here.
know
So
what I noticed when you got the second time?
yeah,
Something that changed in you. I think about the going to the gym and the way you eat. I don't think you got it that same way the first time, right? Am I correct?
correct.
After this second one, I saw that you're changing.
Yes,
Going to the gym more. You
going
still
to the gym
doing it?
more.
You still doing it?
Yes, I'm still going to the gym.
So while we are still at this point of the cancer, because there are some men watching us, some are younger, but it
Yeah.
happens. So what do they have to be careful about this prostate cancer?
So with the prostate cancer affects mostly affects black males. It's just something that we have in our body. So the key is to make sure that you every year you go and see your doctor.
Starting what
And
age?
you can start at as early as even 21, 22 years old.
Really? You think they're
You have
thinking about that?
yeah.
The 22-year-old are thinking about those things?
But unfortunately, when you're that young, nobody thinks about all those things. So you want
Yeah.
to start early. And if you have a history in your family, it makes it important that you have to make sure that you start doing your checkups every year. So over here, we all do our checkups, yearly exams. So I never miss my exam. Every year I go for my physical checkups. So they check your blood, they check everything, make sure that your body is working right. So that's my main advice for anyone out there.
Okay. Maybe you could. I don't know if you want to mention how they need to eat, what to avoid when they're still young.
Correct, correct. So basically, you want to make sure that you avoid processed foods. I know it's very tempting, to stop and get processed food. Anything that comes out of a box or a can, you have to be very careful. So you want to make sure, like when we grew up in Africa, we used to go to the market and we buy fresh fruit,
Yeah,
fresh meat.
that's why
But
those people live longer. Some of them.
correct. But
Healthier.
when you're here, most there's all these fast food places, all these places to eat. All those are processed foods. You go to the supermarket, everything is. So there are lots of options, but make sure you eat whole foods, healthy food.
Is there a certain kind of food you'd say avoid that or eat more of this one?
Okay, so eat more like protein. So like fish, chicken, liver, uh, ground beef, turkey, anything like that. Um,
But some
you
people
know,
are said to avoid those kind of things sometimes.
yes, there's a lot of things out there, but your body needs protein, and you can get protein from plants, but the protein you get from plants are not as um, as efficient
So if
as
you
you
had to
get
pick
protein
out
from.
just one, well, of those you just listed, if you had to pick out one, which one would you pick? Me, I would pick fish. What would you pick?
Okay, for me to be grass-fed beef.
You pick beef?
Yes, grass-fed. It
People
has
say
to be
beef,
grass-fed. Huh?
beef. So if you're in Africa, let's forget
Yeah,
America now. If you're in
yeah.
Africa, what are the foods that are equivalent to what you're saying?
So like in Africa, our livestock are natural. They
Hmm.
graze the land.
But
Like
they started
like
changing too.
they're beginning to change, but you can still get local farmers that have animals that you can purchase from.
But over there, they're discouraging them from eating a lot of meat. That's a
Correct.
lesson. Yes. So what would you say to them?
So maybe you can try fish. You can do
Yes.
chicken.
Yes. Chicken, I think,
Yes.
is nice. So what about the fruits?
Fruits are always good, but you want to, you want to stay away from fruits that have a lot of sugar in them, because most people cannot process the amount of sugar that you get from fruit. So for instance, anything citrus you can eat, like your oranges, guava, you can eat guava. Bananas are good.
Guava and bananas, yeah, those are very good.
Mangoes are good. So those are some of the fruits that you can eat.
So, Wana, how is your health now?
Well, my health is great right now.
You
I
look
just
great.
had, yes, I had physical today,
Uh-huh.
and everything, all my numbers were great. So my blood
Really?
came
That's
back
great.
perfect. Everything came back perfect.
Thank God. Were you not scared at some point?
No, I wasn't scared. No,
Really?
no.
That's weird. So when you have children, you don't worry about leaving your children?
No,
Did the children
no.
understand? They knew that you had cancer twice?
Yes, yeah. I explained to them what
Wow.
was going on. Yeah, you have to be open with your family and open with your kids. They have to know what's going on.
Okay, so do you think, before I leave this topic, by the way, that's a long conversation. I don't
Yes,
know, I'm going to decide what to do next, but I wanted to ask, how do you think, because we learn from each other, right?
yes,
For us who are older, that's why I share what I share. Other people learn from us.
yes.
So what is the lesson about the divorce?
Number one lesson about the divorce is you have to make sure that you communicate. Communication is key, okay, when you're married. And also
Was it communication or was it finances?
well, communication, but most of it will have to do with finances.
So that they know what's going on or what?
So they have to know what's going on, you know. Um, but the key is you have to make sure that before you get married, okay, you want to make sure that you talk about how you're going to handle money.
Yeah.
It's very, very important.
But you didn't have a franchise then. You didn't know you were gonna get into big money.
Correct. But still, you still have to figure out how you're going to handle your money. Are we going to have a joint account? Are we going to
So
have
those
separate
kind of
accounts?
things. Yeah.
You see? So you don't have to wait till you have a lot of money to decide that. So if you figure that out before you get married, things will be a little different.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do, we're going to bring you back, just talk about money.
Okay?
Today we just get to know you. But
Yes.
I wanted, while you're still on that, I wanted to say, for me, this is what I suggested, at least works for us, that we have a separate checking account for me, a separate checking account for him, but then a joint account where we
Yes.
run everything together, right?
Yes.
But still, there's this thing. You say you had a franchise, which means you bring in most of the money, right?
Yes.
And maybe like the American way, the lady maybe is at home, working with the children and everything. So how do you deal with that? Do you give her a salary allowance or what?
Yes. So when I had the franchise, she also worked with me.
Oh, she did.
She did.
So she
Yeah.
was an
So
employee.
she was, yes.
Oh,
Yes. So she got a paycheck, and I also got a paycheck.
yes, I know. So it was like an LLC. How do they handle that?
It was an LLC.
Okay, now we put
So
in the jargon again.
correct.
Limited
So she was
liability, limited
yeah,
liability company.
yes.
So I'm trying to understand from you, the expert, and since you went through this, how do
Hmm.
you handle that? Because after you get a paycheck and they get a paycheck, still there are the profits, right?
Yeah.
So then what I'm trying to say, how do you make, if you had a lot of money in that situation, how does the woman feel like she's also included? You may call it your money, right?
Correct. But
How would you handle that?
well, for me, I did not see the money as my money. I saw the money as our money.
But then I think you mentioned in one of your videos that the money issue, because there was not enough money, that was the issue you had.
Correct.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was the problem when you lose the business and you don't you live a particular kind of lifestyle,
Oh,
and now you
yes,
don't live that kind of lifestyle anymore.
yes,
Then things change.
of
You know, you
course.
go you go from a big house to a small house.
But it depends. You can still
But
go through it. The way you went through everything that did, the patience can still. That's why for me, if you're both not married yet, I'll pray that you get back together. It happens
yeah, yeah,
because
she's not married. Yeah, I don't have plans right now.
you don't want to get married to her again.
No.
Oh, you declared it here, or you declared it already.
No,
So I
no.
think not to make this a long, very long one, I'll
Yeah,
invite you again to come and this
absolutely.
we'll talk about money. But before
Okay.
we leave, I learned something from Oprah a long time ago. She
Okay.
she used to write. She had an old magazine. You ever saw it?
Oh,
She had,
yes.
yeah. Always the last page always had a message. She wrote like a paragraph, and she's called it "What I Know for Sure."
Okay.
So right now, when I'm talking to my people right here in this segment, I like to end it asking what you know for sure. And because for you, you came in two areas. You have the professional and you have the financial. Sorry, the personal. I want to ask you, what do you know for sure concerning money and concerning health?
Okay. So for sure, number one for me, I'm going to start with health
Mhm.
because health is the most important part
Yeah.
that we
Without
want.
health, you have nothing.
If
Mhm.
you don't have health, you have nothing. So for
Yes.
me, what I know is you want to make sure that you watch what you eat, and you also want to make sure that you do some kind of exercise. Even if you have to go for a walk, you
Mhm.
don't have to go to the gym. You can still go for a walk down the street, walk back home, but stay active to
Okay,
keep
that's
you
for the
fit.
health. So,
So
so,
that's
so
my
what do you
advice
know for sure about
for it.
health? What do you know for sure about health?
About health.
Yeah, we're still on that. What do you know for sure? Because when I say what to know for sure, it means for sure. You can say, if you don't do that, this will happen.
Correct. So
What?
like I said, if you don't eat right, if you don't exercise, you're gonna have problems in the future. So
Like
it
what? Being
always
overweight?
comes down to your diet, what you're eating, and what kind of lifestyle do you live. If you just sit on the couch all day and not do anything, it's gonna catch up with you. So you want to make sure that
How
you
about
eat
not
right,
eating? How about not eating? I like not to eat sometimes.
not to eat.
Yes, it's
Well,
my
it is good.
yeah?
It is good to fast.
Yes, but no, for me, I could say maybe do I need to tell everyone? I won't tell you, but that but I'm serious. I think about food last. In fact, I
Yes.
worry about it sometimes. Okay,
So we
people are gonna say, "How come you're big like that?"
so
I
which
don't know. Eh?
yes. But you see, the problem is that it has an opposite effect on your body because your body goes into a starvation mode because it
Not
thinks
like
it's not going to.
starvation. I think I've been like this for a long, long time. The way I eat is weird. Seriously, I'm not like if I ate three, like the way people eat, like breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Uh-huh.
I'll be very, very, very big. I think.
No, I don't think so. It
Yes,
depends on because you're not eating enough. That's why.
that's why
Yes.
when I tried it, I changed a lot. I eat regularly. I said, "What? What's going on?" So let's. How about another one before we end it? How about
Okay.
what you know for sure about money?
About money.
Mm,
So what I know about money is the basics of money is you have to know how much you're bringing in
mm-hmm.
and how much you're spending.
Yep.
So that's the key. If
And
you're
I think the
spending
challenge we don't bring enough. I
if you're
always put a
spending too
comment
much,
when you Wana, let me say this so you can explain it better. When I record videos,
uh-huh.
when you're giving your money tips, most of the time you say pay yourself first, make sure you save. And I always put a comment, but you're not saying people don't have the money. You are assuming that they have the money,
Correct.
but some people don't have the income. Yes,
So
you're
yes.
just assuming
So
that they don't know how to spend it right, but they don't have it.
Yes.
So what advice do you have for them?
You
to
have
make-
to increase your income. You have to find a way to bring more money in.
Yes, that's the
You can
problem. They don't have the ways to bring the money.
you can bring the money in
And I'm
because
saying that's a challenge.
it is a challenge, but it
Yeah.
can still be done. You just have to be resourceful.
Oh, another one, resourceful. What
Yes,
does
you
it
have to
mean?
find a way because figure out people in, you see, most people don't realize that they have the capability or they have the potential of bringing the money. You can start a little.
One, do you know why you're saying that?
Mhm.
Because you're in USA. Because I interact with so many people from Nigeria. They're actually desperate. They want to figure out a way to make some money from there. There's no money. So what do you say to those people in Africa?
They have to. There is always money to be made. Before I came to, just to round things up, there are always opportunities for you to make money over there. I know it can be difficult,
Mhm.
maybe because I'm over here talking, but when I was back home, you can find something to do.
I have so many people from Nigeria right here asking me, they say it's bad over there. There's
Correct.
no, yes, there are no ways to make it. So give advice for someone in Nigeria. Let me see. What could they do?
Well, currently, people can tap into online.
Okay.
Everybody has a cell
Online,
phone.
Nigeria is not allowed to pay. The system don't allow Nigeria.
Or they don't, yeah, because a few people, made it bad for other people.
Yes. So what's the
So,
solution?
so the only solution for most people, because I haven't been in Nigeria for a while, but
I think so. I think so.
so I cannot tell you what works in Nigeria right now. But I know there are people that are making it happen in Nigeria.
No, they're desperate.
So,
They get into my phone here. I get to interact with people from West Africa. They say
mhm,
it's really bad. Yes, because they're
yeah,
not allowed this system. They don't have use PayPal. They can't use Visa, Mastercard. No. So
correct.
they're
So
really struggling.
it is tough. It is tough, which is one of the reasons why, unfortunately, I can't do any business back in Nigeria for now.
Okay.
You know,
So what do you know for sure? Again, you need to make more
so
money.
what I know for sure is you have to make more money.
And if you don't know more money, I think what we know for sure now is to figure out a way to make some money online from
Correct.
where you are, right?
Yes, you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to figure
yeah.
a way.
We made it long. Thank you
Yes.
so much. I'm going to figure out a way to bring you back.
Okay.
And this time, I would like we plan it so you come and give us the basics of money. Like
Okay.
learn these simple terms, all these terms we've been throwing out, but it's more terms. For example, I had a list here to
Hmm.
understand a budget, right? What a
Yep.
budget is, to know what income is, what expenses are, assets, liabilities. Like when you
Hmm.
say passive income, what does it mean? Leverage,
Yeah.
like these words that we use. So we want people to understand them. So meanwhile, before we bring you back, I have a
Okay.
request to make. Could you please
Sure.
start a playlist on your YouTube channel
Okay.
and start teaching us the basics, those basics slowly, slowly. And when you do that, let me know that you started it, so
Okay.
I can mention it right here, so that people will refer and you share with them, so they can start teaching themselves slowly, slowly, slowly. Within a year, if you really follow this, you can change your life. You learn the basics, and around here we suggest something, you go do it. You can change your life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. That
Yeah.
was so nice to talk to you, Wana. And
Thank
now
you.
we're going to have a conversation, right?
Yes.
Maybe one time you invite me to your side also.
Absolutely.
We
Sounds
could
good.
do that. For me, when you invite me, I'm going to choose the topic. I want to motivate those people to take
Okay.
a step to make their life better. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you
Sounds
so
good.
much. Do you have anything you want to say before we close? Or
Not exactly. Just make sure that, okay, like I said,
we could say, what do you learn from your life? Because I see resilience for me. What do you see for yourself? When you
for
think
me,
about the first time you had the cancer, and then you had it again, and the divorce, and losing the business, what do you say about yourself?
so
What did you learn?
basically, you can never give up.
Oh, yeah.
Never ever give up. Because
Yeah.
when you're going through things, it looks like it's the end of the world, but there's always brighter times ahead.
Okay.
So you can never ever give up.
And now soon maybe you're going to be president of that. Yeah, you're doing really well. Doing well. Very, very proud of you, Wana.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
So thank you for coming here. So how soon do you want to come back? When? After how long?
Well, you tell me. I'm always
Yeah.
available.
We're going
Yeah,
to
you
start
tell.
a series, but also I'm going to share. So we're going to, below in the description, find Wana's TikTok, Wana's Instagram, Wana's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But please record some more on YouTube, okay?
Okay, I will.
Those topics you've been bringing on TikTok, I wish they were on YouTube.
Okay, I will.
Yes. And then you can record the shorts and connect them with the long form. So
Okay.
that, because you have the long form already there that you've been teaching, so just bring an intro shot to connect to the other one. I showed how to connect the related, right? You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that video. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good night, Wana.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a
so
good
I
one.
always end these. Please, if you know anyone who has a story like Wana's, it doesn't matter where they are, although they are more inspiring when they're connected to Africa, because we want to inspire people not to leave Africa. We want you to learn how to make money online. One is going to teach you how to make the money, how to save it, how all those ideas. So keep it here. Like I always end them, I say, take very good care of yourself. Take a very good care of your families. Take very good care of your health. You see, he did, and he looks great. Okay?
Thank you.
For us, what do you think? Take a step to a better you. Please visit Wana and see what he does. Follow, add comments, remind him, put in a comment. I saw you on Sherifa's channel. Okay? Thank you.
That would be great.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.